Hi there and welcome back to Eye of the Beholder 3. I'm Baron and we are on the forest trail here. So let's continue exploring. Oh really? Copy protection. Please enter the requested word from your Eye of the Beholder 3 rulebook. Page 22, line 7, word 12. 24 actually. That would be simple. Awesome. Very well, that worked nicely. Oh yeah, now there are trees behind us, but I think we can get rid of those if I can actually access my inventory. I want that. And if you use that, boom, you hold the medallion at arm's length, allowing it to swing slowly back and forth. Nice. So, there's some sort of, thicket here. You can crawl to the north. What is that? West. You can crawl to the northeast, or you can crawl straightly to the north. There's always like three, well, passages. Sometimes a passage or two are blocked, but there are always like three ways you can go. So see, we can't go to the left, but we can go to the right, and now to the north. And we actually have the ever-burning torch. If you move that, from side to side, the trees will vanish too. But since we have the medallion of friendship, we don't really need that. So, well, I guess we're going back. And, one done. There goes the spiritual hammer, not a biggie. We have plenty. So, the way seems blocked, but it is not actually. Let's move on. Again, the way seems blocked, and this time it actually is blocked. Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, the trees sometimes grow behind us. Annoying, but we really can't help it. Hail, adventurers! I am called Delmare Readyhorn of Cormure. I hunt evil like the great cat hunts its prey in the forest. I seek a sword of great power. This sword was my father's ere he was slain by foul brigands in the forest. The bandits must have long since fallen by my hand, but my father's sword eludes me. It is named Doubtsimmer, the bright blade. It destroys undead at a touch. I seek to join a party of adventurers strong enough to help me recover Doubtsimmer and put an end to the monstrous evil that has infested our land. I have encountered and slain evil creatures beyond counting in this part of the forest and the surrounding lands. One thing my travels have taught me is that this evil will not long yield to my blade alone. I cannot accomplish what needs to be done on my own. You are the strongest I have encountered, and I would be honored to join your band. I have certain abilities that no other can offer. If we join forces, there will be nothing to stand in our way. Will you permit me to travel with you? Yeah, we could still use a sixth pair of hands. Well done, friends. Evil does not sleep. It only multiplies. We must hurry. And we have Delmare here. He is a half-elven ranger. Quite strong, quite dexterous. Constitution 15. Okay, he's an okay character, really. 11th level. That's a lot. 1.1 million XP. He has almost as much experience as Diana has. Holy shit. So you switch positions. You have an elven chain +2, a longsword +3, and a short sword. You don't need a bow, my friend. You need a trident. And you will... Yeah, well, a stout axe might well do the job. No, we do it like this. So, what do we have here, I wonder? A Minotaur! They can't do shit. But there's something I want to show you. We bring Delmare in front. And if he gets hit, in the midst of the battle, your attention is drawn to your half-elven companion Delmare as he begins to transform into a great white tiger. Once the transformation is done, the tiger joins the battle at your side. And he's a tiger now. And he drops whatever he has in his hands on the fucking floor. Well, that's no fun. I mean, first of all, now he has paws, like he can't really hold anything now. And those paws are not magical weapons. So if you encounter monsters that can only be hurt by magical weapons, well, sucks to be you. Plus, he drops whatever he's holding, and there are battles in this game. Well, after you win the battle, you're teleported elsewhere. It might actually mean that you lose the items the weapons that he was holding, and have to backtrack a long way to get them back. So, I don't know. I don't really like him. He's annoying as fuck. I don't know why they thought this would be a good idea to have a character like this in the game. He's actually quite important. In the beginning of the manual, like in the first half of it, there's a short story that takes place in the woods around Mithranor, and Delmare actually is the protagonist of that short story. He's like a prince of Cormyr, and he came here to find well, his father was slain, and he heard he was slain by a lich, and his mother vanished ages ago, so he only had his father, and then he came here to avenge his father's death. And he met Elminster, and Elminster actually managed, to bring him to a lich, but then he found out that the lich actually was Delmare's mother. Your mother. Well, yeah, because, well, his mother was a powerful mage, but she was, like, terminally ill, very sick, nothing that could be done about it. She would have died, but she used her magic to turn herself into a lich. Therefore, the sickness couldn't harm her anymore, so she did not die. But, well, she feared that she might not be tolerated at the royal court in Cormyr, being a lich and all. But she was a good lich. I mean, she was apparently a good person in life, and therefore she became a lich, a good lich, an arch-lich, I don't know how you call that. And, well, the king, so Delmare's father, often visited her, because, well, he still loved her, even though she was a lich. And one day he was like, there were lots of bandits, they tried to rob him, he fought them, and in the end he drove them away, but he was mortally wounded. And she couldn't really help him, because she was still recovering from the process that turned her into a lich. So yeah, then she came to him, and he died at her feet, and she killed all the bandits because, well, he was her beloved husband. And yeah, well, she tells all that to Delmare, and of course Elminster already knew that. And then Delmare no longer wants to slay the lich because, well, he knows it's his mother, and he knows that the bandits are dead. And then Elminster gives him Doutsamar the sword, and that's the end of the story, so to say. It doesn't really make sense with this story of the game, because Delmare is here and still looking for the sword that, in the story Elminster gave it to him. I don't know. And yeah, I don't really like the character because it's inconvenient actually. Well, to be transformed into a cat whenever you get hit and then drop everything and stuff. That's not good. But we will have him in our party for a while, because I need someone to wield the trident. There's nothing we can do about that. So, let's see. That appears to be a dead end. Well, apparently it is not. That doesn't do shit. That does something, okay. Okay, we move on into this direction apparently. And we have a new passage. Very well. And of course, if you like rest, sure, rest. Then Delmare turns into a regular person again. So your armor class actually sucks. 0. Do we have anything better for you? Probably not, right? No. Oh, can't be helped. Okay, moving on. Try not to get hit, my friend. What? Oh, there's a fair here. I can't really see him. Maybe a true seeing would be handy here. They're partially invisible. Really sucks. Surprise! Yeah, well. So we could go to the south apparently, or we could move on in eastern direction. Let's go to the east. Whoa. Lag? Oh, again. Well, what do we get here, I wonder? So, if we would move through here, we get stuff. Arrows, okay. We're not using them, but we're taking them. Chain, a bow, that apparently is not magical. I don't need a non-magical bow, thank you. But a long sword that is magical. And a chain that is magical. Let's take a look at it. Long sword plus 3. We already have better. And a chain plus 4. Let's see. 0 minus 2. Awesome. 0 minus 5 minus 6. Oh, guess what? 7 minus 1. 0. Okay. And what about you? 2. 2. It doesn't make a difference apparently. Very well. I don't need a bow. Goodbye. So, well. We crawl through here then, and actually move on. Sounds like there are more minotaurs around. So, we can head... Oh, see, there's a minotaur approaching. Die. We came from the west. Let's head to the north. Well, there's nothing here. Oh, hi. Minotaurs. They really can't do shit. So, I say we go to the south this time. Yeah, come closer. Well, there's a bunch of them, but for you there is no strength in numbers. Just checking whether somebody is sneaking up on us. What do we get? A few more arrows. And food. Okay, well, we seem to have a lot of food. Let's eat something then. You're satiated already. Apparently we still have food. Well, okay then, eat some more. Oh, those are iron rations actually. I wasn't aware of that. Well, didn't iron rations look differently in Eye of the Beholder 2? Well, apparently they no longer do that. So, well, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Oh, fun and games, fun and games. So we clamp down here and then straight ahead, and see, this time we see the fares better because, well, oh, I had forgotten something. True seeing for the win. Delmare gets another level. Oh, give me that back, thank you. So, more stuff. A ring of wizardry. We already have one. A wand of magic missile. More thieves' tools. Well, fine. Leather armor that happens to be magical. And gauntlets of fire giant strength. So, well, minus 10, minus 8, but strength is 22 now. Minus 5. What bless goes away? Well, I think you have the lowest strength. Now you have 22. Okay, probably does the most good for you. So you will actually be using it. So, which way do we go? I think we go in here and then climb straight ahead and to the east. One. Yeah, that seems good. Hi. What you doing here? Goodbye. Cloak of protection. Let's identify it. We already have a rope plus 5. Leather armor plus 3. And a cloak of protection. Okay, minus 1. Well, screw that. It's bad. Very well. So let's head to the south from here. This worked nicely. So let's save. So you have 1,206,000 experience points. As you emerge from the forest into a small clearing, the ghostly form of a man appears from nowhere to confront you. Well, 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 I see the defilers of the forest have finally come to carve out its heart. Tell me, why should I not wither you away to nothingness, as you have done to so many parts of my forest? Well, probably because we will kick your ass when you attack us. What were we supposed to do? Ask the trees to leave? Lower life forms than you have learned to communicate with the trees that surround them. However, finding a lower life form than you around here now would be a task. You have killed my trees, and that is something that is unforgivable. Just who do you think you are? I am Lord Protector of this forest, and have been for longer than your families have walked this plane. And I am in no mood for your backtalk. You reply, look, we don't see any need for confrontation. We do apologize for cutting down those trees, but for the greater good we must reach the ruined city. If you really have been around for so long, Why don't you share some of your lore? Perhaps with your knowledge and our might, we can restore the forest and Mithranor together. Grudgingly, the old man begins to speak. I suppose it would do little harm to tell you of the history of Mithranor. Once, long ago, Mithranor was an elven camp, a community of large uninhabited trees, of clear springs and pools. Later it became an elven city, a place of needle-sharp spires of growing, hollow wood linked by treacherous suspension spans that were either railless wooden arches or precarious running ropes. The city grew in size and might with the elven communities of the Western Dragon Reach over some 2,000 years until humans first came to the north shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars. The king of the elves invited all the races, humans, elves, dwarves, halflings and gnomes, to come and live in harmony. Together they could build up the defense of the city so that the goblin kin races would not be a threat. Mithranor earned the name the Towers of Beauty among bards, and as the years passed and happiness reigned over all, the elves gave it the name the City of Love in celebration of the peace and content enjoyed by all the races of Faerun. Damn, I have to take the telephone. Hold on for a second. Well, it's like people actually know when I'm recording and decide, well, now would be a good time to call him. Okay, I'm back. So, City of Love, yeah, we already had that. Yet the gods grew restless and all things changed under their hands. Greatness is always hurled down in the end, so it was with Mithranor as with all great cities. The downfall of Mithranor began with the arrival of the creatures from the outer planes. They joined with the goblin races and overran Mithranor. The armies from the Shadow Realm were so numerous that for every 100 foes dispatched by the city's defenders, 1,000 more took their place. Evacuation of the city became necessary, and most of the inhabitants of the city escaped thanks to the devotion of the defenders. One defender in particular, Captain Flower, was especially heroic. He slew many of the shadow beasts with a sword that burned with a blue fire. Unfortunately for us, he fell that day, and we buried him with honors in the warrior's tomb. He will always be remembered by the children of those he saved. Yeah, we already met his ghost. I too died on that fateful day, but my love for this forest and Mithranor kept me alive in spirit. I will protect this forest until the end of time. Perhaps, if you are truly worthy, and you restore Mithranor, I will at last find my rest. Know that Mithranor and I are one, and that I alone dictate whether or not you reach the ruins. If you pass my test, I will show you the path to the ruins of our great city. We will gladly take your test, you reply. The test is a simple one. Have one of your party choose one of my books to read. Choose carefully, for all the books are beneficial and all of the books are harmful. Choose wisely, and you will be rewarded. Choose poorly, and you will feel Mithranor's wrath. Okay, select a character who will read one of the sage's books. Diana will do it. Which of the sage's books will Diana read? Well, we have the Book of Adroit Deeds. That would be a book for a thief. We have the Book of Daring Deeds. That would be the book of a fighter or a ranger. We have the Book of Arcane Deeds. That would be, of course, for a mage. And we have the Book of Exalted Deeds. That would be for a cleric or a paladin. So since Diana is going to read the book, it will be the Book of Arcane Deeds. Diana attains level 14, gaining 1 hit point. You have chosen wisely, says the ancient sage. The path will be shown unto you. May fortune walk at your side. And don't cut down any more trees! We have the Amulet of Friendship now. We don't need to cut them down anymore. So, now she has 1.5 million. I think she had 1.2 million, so she probably got 300,000 XP. She probably needs 300,000 per level, so that's cool. 1.5 million. It's almost twice as much as the rest has. Not too shabby, if you ask me. So we can learn new spells, is that correct? Oh, I don't have any level 7 spells yet. Ah well. Let's hope we find a few. Oh, that's actually all. One level 7 spell for Diana. Fine, we are looking at the southern direction. Yeah, this is where we came from. Cool. There's nothing else in here, so we can sort of go. And that will lead to Mithranor. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah. Okay, there was a wall that has been removed. Nice tunes. Through the trees you behold the ruined city of Mithranor. Dark clouds hover above, portending certain doom for any travelers bold enough to reach the heart of the city. Do you have the strength and courage to continue? Of course we have that. And now we are in the ruins of the Guildhall quarters. We could always return back to the forest, see? I really like that there's no point of no return like they did, for instance, with Menzo Berenson several times. You can always backtrack if you want to, that's cool. But we will explore the Guildhall quarters in the next video. So, well, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.